Hello, welcome back. I had to restart the stream. The stream failed for some reason. Hello, welcome back. I lost contact with the server apparently, and I had to restart the stream to refresh it. I am like really surprised. I've been standing out here and I don't see any zombies. And it's not like they could be spawning on someone else at the moment because I'm the only one on the server. So I would expect the server to send something my way. Let's see, I got over 600 kills so far. Yeah, I seem to have someone watching all the time that never chats. And I don't know who that is. And I don't know if they're subscribed or anything, but they may not say something in the chat and then they'll leave them almost immediately. Yeah, I'm starting to get cold. Since we live in the desert, we try to have like negative insulation on our clothing. One thing that I've noticed is there's no actual weather effects on the server. I guess that is a problem with the dedicated server because in a single player game it will actually rain, snow, and storm. And they said 815 is going to have potential like lightning strikes. But they don't have an actual fire mechanic in the game where fire can burn down buildings and shit like that. Yeah, I should be online tomorrow. I don't know when I'm gonna get some sleep. Just sipping on my Mountain Dews. Oh, I ran out of fuel in the forge. I always keep my fridge stocked with cold Mountain Dews for the gaming sessions. And I got some Monster Energy drinks. They now have this cement mixer in the game. Yeah, it is an underground base, really. The house was there. I went in and I dug a shaft. The shaft is about 45 blocks deep, and the map elevation is so high that I'm actually at least 45 blocks underground, and I'm at plus 14 meters elevation underground. So, yeah, it is an underground base. It's a great place to hide out. The hordes don't get to you, they don't mess with you. If you stay underground and you're deep enough, you can totally avoid the hordes. Nice. 197 wellness. Getting there very slowly. Yeah, most of the base is underground. There's nothing really in this building. I didn't build it. It was here. I just fortified it. There's a few good loot containers in here, and they will respawn in a multiplayer game. They will try to dig to you if they can sense you. But if you get out of their sense range, they won't even try to bother you. Now, if you're carrying smelly food, they're more likely to sense you underground. If you're deep enough, they won't even sense that. If the game setting is set to ferals, they're better able to sense you. They can actually dig. They can actually dig. Yeah, being deep enough is the trick. And anything over 40 blocks is pretty much enough, pretty deep, pretty much deep enough. Yeah, my ladder goes down like 45 blocks, and the uh, the slope goes down another 15 or so blocks. The stairway, so it is pretty deep, even though it's sitting at a positive elevation. I see that there don't seem to be any zombies around tonight. I'm really surprised. Because if I go into stealth mode, there's none around sensing me. I mean, it's possible to completely avoid detection at night if you continue moving and you're being sneaky. But if you're standing still, they're probably going to find you. Yep, I just spent a couple of horde nights underground and totally avoided the horde because my base wasn't ready yet. I didn't want them tearing it up. It took me a while to get this wall put together. I could have sworn there were two dogs. I wonder if that's the forerunner of a horde. As you can see, it's quite easy to shoot them through the wall. Nope, the zombies don't seem to have any interest in mini bikes. They totally leave it alone. Hello, welcome to my stream. Streaming 7 Days to Die. This is Alpha 14.7. I'm on a dedicated server called Tarsona. There's currently no other players logged in. Kind of early morning hours in the USA, and most of our players are US players. So I need to go out and hunt a couple of more stags for my challenge and get that skill point. I haven't really been to the west. I haven't really explored this portion of the map yet, so I don't know what's out here. Unfortunately, you can't view the map while you're on the mini bike. Okay, I have kind of been along this road. See if there's anything up here in the part that I haven't revealed. No, the road kind of ends. What's that? Something over here. Was that a military camp? Nope, it's just a small camp. At the moment, we know we're getting new zombies with Alpha 15, but we don't know if they're replacing all the old zombies with the new ones or giving us a whole new variety plus the old ones. Broken bone. He broke my leg. So I need a splint. Let's see, I'm just going to scrap the canned food, scrap the black t-shirt, scrap the non-purple gun part, scrap the non-purple gun part, and I'm going to disassemble this car and see if I get an engine out of it. Pretty much you have to have a full, in order to get an engine, you have to have a fairly well preserved car to start with. So I got 5 springs, 1 oil, some leather, gas. Did I drop anything on the ground? A headlight and a short iron pipe. Don't really care about the short iron pipe. So I have not found a single munitions crate on the entire area of the map that I've searched. However, there are Shotgun Messiah stores, and they seem to have all the high-end gun parts, except they don't have the Magnum parts. You can get rocket launcher parts, AK-47 parts, SMG parts. Those military grade weapons are kind of uncommon. Kind of uncommon finds. But if you can manage to loot a whole store, you'll probably get a couple of parts at least. I'm bleeding. Okay, I got the meat, I got the hide. I need one more stag for my challenge, and I'll get a skill point. Running over zombies with the mini bike at full speed seems to be quite effective at killing them. But I don't know if you get a kill for that. I don't know if it increases your kill count if the mini bike kills the Zed. So the fact that I have a splinted leg is slowing me down pretty much. And leave that up here. So I got some supplies in my chest upstairs in order to do repairs on my wall. Got to keep some concrete. Been loading the forge so I can get more steel bars out. Let's see. I got 6 meat. Make another 6 meat stews. Let's see how long it's going to take. 13 minutes for my broken bone to heal. That is a fast mending bone. As long as you can make a splint, that's why I always carry some cloth on me, so I can make a splint just in case. I got quite a lot of material in the forge now. And we've got like 2 spare forges set up just for making cement. Because it takes quite a long time to feed the stone into the forge. You cook the stone and you get cement out. I actually had a spare caliper, so I was making bullet casings in this forge. And I'm trying to hit the 200 vitals. I try to eat as much as possible so I get my wellness up. I'm trying to hit 200. I can go up to 250 on vitals because I dumped a lot of points into athletics so I could get that health nut maxed. I got 111 levels overall. I'm like the highest level person on the server at the moment. We have no shortage of first aid kits. Oh, what's that brass doing in there? And let's see. Don't have a lot of brass at the moment. Each unit of scrap makes 5 units of brass in the forge. And I'm down to 161 casings. And I figure that the zombie horde, the 7th day horde, will consume over 1,000 rounds of ammo, shotgun shells, over 500 shotgun shells. And my friend was firing, and he shot off like 500 shotgun shells. And for some reason, when it turned daylight, he ran outside the wall and ended up getting killed. Dropped his backpack, which the server is set up so that the backpack drops your tool belt. And the zombies actually destroyed his backpack before he got back to it. I guess I should have run out and picked it up for him. I didn't realize that would happen. Because when day comes, they're moving more slowly. They're not running anymore. So it's somewhat safe to go outside the wall and fight them. There can still be dogs. So let's see, I've got enough material in the forge to make over 1,000 forged steel. And I probably used over 1,500 bars on my wall reinforcing it. Hello, welcome to my stream. This is 7 Days to Die Alpha 14.7. I am playing on a dedicated server which is called Tarsona. It is a PVE server. We have 8 to 10 regular players, and the server is not password protected, so we're looking to get more players online. I know the guy that owns the server wants to get more interest, see if he gets more people online. There is a post about it on the Steam server forum for the game, And there is a Steam group for the server, but I think he has to invite you to the Steam group. If you're like on a console version of the game, I think you can still log into this server. So I am gonna go hit up the Shotgun Messiah and see if I get lucky with parts. There's two of them in that city. That city that city is not the central city. It's actually larger than the central city. This is in the south of the random map. I found this. Uh, Most of the players are getting spawned. You'll get spawned within 2,000 meters of the central city, and the center of the map is right here. This here is the central city, and I haven't fully explored it. I was briefly in the north of the map, and I said all the players are ending up in this area, so I went south looking for a desert, and I found a huge desert and a huge lake. And I found this house, and I noticed there was a city near it. So I set up my base here. I hate that bug. They need to fix the mini bike a little bit. Hopefully they'll get that done with Day53. Yeah, we're sort of waiting for Alpha 15 to hit, and it's probably going to be at least a few more weeks before it comes out. And it looks like it's going to be a pretty major update with NPCs and new zombies, and farming is getting reworked, and there's going to be drawbridges, and the NPCs are going to trade something. Don't know what they're going to be trading. Okay, this is the Shotgun Messiah. I like to make sure I can always get back on the mini bike because sometimes it's a little buggy. You stop and you can't get back on. Somebody just joined the server. Garson. Oh, that's a receiver. That's not what I need. And basically anything that isn't purple isn't really useful to me. Perfect shotgun receiver. Perfect shotgun receiver. Let's see if I actually need that. Nope, I don't. I got a perfect shotgun receiver. Sniper rifle barrel I don't really need. I got like 5 sniper rifles. AK-47, that might be better. That I don't really need. Challenge scroll. And ammo. And a full hunting rifle. Guess I'll take that. Always need more paper. So I'll check the filing cabinets. What's this? 600 quality hunting rifle part. That's perfect. 580 shotgun long barrel. No, can't really use that. S&G parts. Oh my god, that is what I need. That is what I've been missing. For some reason, there doesn't seem to be a zombie spawn in the area right now. I don't know why that is. And there is one more shotgun messiah down here. Yeah, Space Engineers went on sale and it was less than $10. And I had a couple of friends that were playing it, and I tried it out and I thought it was pretty bad. That was my opinion. I thought it was pretty bad. It needs a lot more work. There's not much game to it. It's mostly a sandbox at the moment where you can't do much but except for build ships and collide them against each other, it seemed like to me. So build a spaceship and run it into something and see how much destruction you can cause. So I didn't spend more than a couple of hours trying it out. More SMG parts, wow. And a perfect hunting rifle stock. Holy cow, a perfect quality pistol. Not that I really like pistols, but to get something complete that's perfect is pretty rare. That is the first time I've seen something like that. It is really kind of a bad situation that there's nothing spawning right now in the city. I mean, that is like really unusual, because the city usually spawns a lot of stuff when I'm here. I don't know if that guy logging in, maybe he got a big spawn or something, because there's like a limit to how many zombies can spawn on the server at the same time. And they can't have hundreds of zombies spawning for some reason. I think the limit on the server is 50 zombies and 50 animals spawning all at once. So it's really, and he just restarted the server last night, which should have helped. Hello, welcome to my stream. Now there's some zombies. This is 7 Days to Die Alpha 14.7. Yeah, I think 7 Days to Die at this point is worth the price, and they're getting closer to achieving their goals for the game. So I expect they won't be in development for another full year before they release the game. That's what I'm thinking at this point. I've had the game for 3 years and I've been watching them work on it. Oddly enough, you can drive a mini bike through a half-meter gap. I guess the hitbox on the mini bike is no bigger than a half-meter. However, the hitbox on a player is bigger than a half-meter. You cannot walk through that gap. And the zombies cannot walk through that gap. So it's a pretty effective wall. Hello, Mr. PB Mac. I kind of got the idea for the wall by watching another guy's video on YouTube. He was building a similar wall. His build was quite a bit bigger. Yeah, I want a game that has some actual objectives. Of course, in this game, once you've secured the resources and the sources of resources, survival becomes pretty trivial, and it just becomes a matter of like increasing your score. Holy cow, I looted a perfect pistol. Wonder what is the damage on that. It's only 32.2. Stick that in there. That is the only perfect gun that I have. Let's see, my hunting rifle already has a perfect stock. $549 parts. That's not actually better. 600 parts. That is actually better. So I will replace the parts. Getting much closer to a perfect quality hunting rifle. And that, by comparison to the pistol, is 116 entity damage. Whereas my sniper is only 100 because of its lower quality. Let's see, I just got a full SMG. And I don't really like using the SMG because it has quite a kick. But you can fire off 2 or 3 rounds in short bursts and generally hit the target. Uh, I think the AK-47 is even worse for having a kick. Highly inaccurate when I try to shoot it. So I got 2 full SMGs out of that trip. I never purchased the ability to make 10 millimeter rounds. I've only got 29 of them. That's not even enough for a full load on the SMG. I'm not going to bother with it, but I don't know if my friend likes it. I don't know if my friend likes. He said that's what you want if you're doing PvP. For killing zombies, it's not the best gun, really. The Magnum is probably the best, or the sniper. The shotgun is quite good, quite good. Mostly stick to the shotgun. That's where I've got the most skill. Let's see, my shotgun skill is up to 35 out of 100. And I got 2 levels on the boomstick perk. And my rifle skill is only level 5. Though I have been shooting the sniper pretty often, and that uses the rifle skill. And let's see what my pistol skill is at, because I think it's probably pretty low. I started the game with a pistol. I got really lucky and looted a 450 quality pistol from a zombie, like really early in the game, like right after I started playing. Right after I started playing on the server. Pistols. It's only level 7. And I got 1 level on the perk. So the pistol skill does apply to the Magnum, I think. Soon as in, we don't know how soon. Yes, we're expecting Alpha 15. It may be a few more weeks. The lead developer is Madmole, and he has said in videos that they would do like a Let's Play Alpha 15 video prior to release. And there is no Let's Play Alpha 15 video out yet, so I'm guessing we're more than a week away from them putting that out. But it looks like it's going to be a pretty major update, and they've taken such a long time with it. I'm guessing they're having problems getting some of the bugs worked out of it, making it stable at this point. I'll be right back. I gotta grab another Mountain Dew. Console. Will console get the update? I'm not really sure how that works. I think they're updating the console version, but I'm not positive. I would think that they would have to update the console version in some way to make it compatible with the dedicated servers so that people that are playing like on a PlayStation or an Xbox would be able to connect with a dedicated server. Otherwise, there would be a mismatch in file types because every time they come out with a major update, you have to recreate a player profile that matches the version of the game that you're playing. If you have an older version of the player profile, you'll run into problems. So I would expect them to update the console version in some way. So I need to kill one more stag for my challenge. I'm a lumberjack and I'm okay challenge. Well, I have all the area that I've gone over in this map, I haven't found the snow biome. I expect that somewhere there's got to be a snow biome, but the map is so huge that there's like major portions of the map that I haven't explored. It goes out to 10,000 meters north, south, east, and west, and the random map is actually circular instead of being square. So I refueled my bike, and I'm taking the stuff out of the basket, sticking it in my temporary chest, and I am going to go out and do some hunting. First, I'll just go out here. Dogs can be harvested for hides and animal fat and bone, which are valuable resources. Animal fat and bone. You can harvest zombies too and get some animal fat and bone. I know that the stags spawn in this area, but it's like rare. It's like a rare thing. And I have seen bears out here too. And I have seen the bears going after the zombies. They attack the zombies, they end up getting infected, and they turn into zombie bears. What the hell? That dog is not going after me? That that is just weird. A dog runs past me and it doesn't even sense me? That is weird. Well, I guess the server is being somewhat glitchy today. That's what I was looking for. Oh, nice headshot. And a worthless sham sandwich. So I just gained a skill point from the stag challenge. And I will put that on archery skill. Trying to spot the mini bike in the tall grass. Yeah, the mini bike bug seems to be more common when the server is loaded. It's more noticeable. And Grayson is still on. That guy just got on a little while ago and he's already died once. He may have run into a dog, I don't know, something he couldn't outrun. If you're getting on a new server and for the first time and it's like day 54 on the server, I would immediately crouch down and try to be sneaky. 33 eggs and 13 meat. I am stockpiling meat stews. So as you can see, it's quite easy to get a large supply of food, though I did have to farm the corn and potatoes to make this stuff. But I guess a major complaint among players is that the game does become pretty easy once you get late into the game. Once you get set up, you get a base, you get underground, you can avoid the zombies pretty much. It's pretty easy to survive. So there's no end game except for trying to improve your score by killing more zombies, and that gets a little bit boring, I guess. see how much forged steel I can make. 1,500. Yeah, burning a forge in the game will attract screamers, but my forge is actually a little bit of distance away from the base. Because when I dig underground, I do a tunnel that moves horizontally away from the surface entrance. So, like, the screamers will spawn over here. If I'm standing in my base, they won't sense me, and they'll just kind of stand there. And if they don't sense you, they don't scream and summon a horde. So, so far I have only encountered one screamer on the server. I haven't actually been seeing them spawn that much. It's kind of surprising. Hello, welcome to my stream. This is 7 Days to Die, and it's version alpha 14.7. Everybody is waiting for the next big update, which is alpha 15. And we are expecting Mad Mole to release a video of the game prior to releasing the update to the players. And they haven't actually done that video yet, so we're probably looking at least a week, maybe a few more weeks before they have it ready. Trying to get my vitals up to 200, and it's taken a really long time to get up to 198. I'm getting close. This is my base design. I took over a POI house. The first thing I did to the house was I dug my shaft. First thing I did was dig underground, so I had a safe base to operate from. Then I reinforced the building with concrete. And it took me quite a bit of time to build this wall. I'm not really happy with the fact that you only get 2 cotton per harvested cotton. I totally went all out and planted as much cotton out here as I possibly could. Trying to stockpile some cloth. Uh, you know, I don't really know. For a laptop, maybe 6 gig would be enough. I think that you're really going to be dependent on what kind of video you have because it's pretty intensive on the GPU. So I'm playing on a desktop and I do not have the latest and the greatest video card. I have a GTX 560 Ti card, which is NVIDIA. And I think they're up to like the 1000 series now. And I mean, a 900 series would be pretty reasonable to have something along that line. And I am not, I never really shopped for a laptop, so I am not really sure what type of laptop would be capable of running this game. Yeah, I think 6 gigs of RAM would be okay. It's just the video that you're gonna have to worry about. The latest video is 1080. Yeah. Grayson says the latest video is 1080. So a 900 series would be decent for video. And it would be more reasonably priced. Of course, you never know. You may get something that's adequate for running the game and then they're not done developing the game, so they make changes to it. And you find that they changed something and all of a sudden you can't run it so well. Well, that's kind of what happened to me because I bought it in the early version of the alpha and I had a Core 2 dual processor running at like 2.6 gigahertz or something like that. And I was able to run early versions of the game on that system. And I had only 4 gig of RAM on that system. And then they went from blocky terrain to more voxel based terrain, and it's more smooth. so that the hills are more smooth and instead of being step hills. And they made a few changes to the graphics, and I wasn't able to run the game anymore. It lagged so much that it just wasn't playable. I finally got this i5 system. It's like 3.6 gigahertz. So I'm playing on an i5 desktop. I heard that AMD is coming out with a new processor technology, maybe towards the end of this year or at the beginning of next year. They're trying to make their chips more competitive with Intel, and Intel CPUs are kind of like leading at the moment. But the new AMD technology sounds like it's going to be pretty good. So I'm guessing you're not looking for a laptop that's like cutting edge, gonna be ultra expensive. You're probably on a budget, right? Because you could easily spend 5,000 plus on a top of the line laptop. You could easily drop 5,000. Hello, welcome to my stream. I'm playing 7 Days to Die, and this is Alpha 14.7, which is the current stable version of the game. We're waiting for the Alpha 15 update, which we expect soonish. And soonish could be a week or a few weeks or a month. We don't really know because they're not giving us any indication of how far along they are. And they've been working on this update for so long that I expect they're having some problems making it stable at this point. But they're finally going to add NPCs to the game. Mine is, I think it's around 3.3 gigahertz. I'm not really sure without looking at my DX diag window. I I uh, I forget the details. I got 8 gig of RAM. I only have 8 gig of RAM. I guess the video card has 4 gig of RAM on it. 4 gig of video RAM. It runs pretty smoothly for me. I don't have any trouble. I don't know what my frame rate is. It's probably less than 60. I don't know how to get the frame rate on this. I think there's some kind of a diagnostic tool, but I forget which key it is to get it up. That is a good thing, Grayson. Yeah, I don't think, having specs on a laptop that are similar to my desktop, probably you wouldn't get similar performance from a laptop. You probably want to go a little bit higher on laptop specs. I mean, it probably wouldn't be that expensive to get an i7 to get an i7 CPU on a laptop. Or if you get the later generations of i5, you're going to be better off. Yeah, I would try to get at least the recommended specs because you don't know how much the game is going to change. I wouldn't go for the minimum. The minimum, you're going to be in trouble if you go for the minimum spec. I'm actually surprised that I can run the streaming software at 720p and get this much performance out of the game. And they recommend at least a 600 series GPU to make video. So I would get at least a 600 series type GPU at the minimum. Gotta stand next to the fire, I'm getting cold. Yeah, any GPU series with a TI on the end is like the top of the line for that series, and that's what I have in a 500 series. So they're somewhat more capable if they have the TI on them. But a 600, any 600 series should be good enough to run this game well. Because I figure the game is pretty playable if you're at 30 FPS or higher. The game is in a playable condition. Uh, of course, getting 60 FPS is ideal frame rate for your monitor, but you don't really need it that high to make the game playable. But at the same time, you don't want to be in a situation where you're facing a big horde and the FPS drops significantly at that point. So I think any 600 series or above would be capable, would be perfectly capable. Now I'm carrying food that smells. I am just gonna drop some food in the chest upstairs. Now this is a PVE server, so we're not supposed to shoot each other. But it is possible to kill other players still, even though there's a flag set that the friendly fire it's called the friendly fire flag. However, if you're not actually allied with the other player, you can still shoot them and kill them. And I don't think we've had anybody have a base get raided on here yet. So I guess most of the players that have been logging in are pretty laid back and easygoing, and they just want to experience building something and just have fun with the game and not have to worry about people raiding them and killing them. those meat stews like warm you up by a certain percent. Increase core temperature by 14%. So that's keeping me from freezing out here. So it's pretty good food if you're in a snow biome. And you would need a lot more insulation in a snow biome than what I have. So I wouldn't be wearing the iron armor. Leather armor gives you better insulation. So if you're in a cold area, yep, day 56 at 2200 hours. Yeah, the guy that owns the server is pretty laid back. As long as you don't do something stupid and crash the server, and he doesn't want you to cheat. We had some guys come on and they were tossing so much explosives around that they crashed the server. I guess you can overload the server if you set off a lot of explosions. And apparently one of the guys, at least one of the guys was cheating because he had a bunch of really high quality weapons in some really high end containers. And he was like new to the server and he got this stuff like in his first day of playing. And not only that, they were killing some other players, which they're not supposed to do. But the guy didn't seem to understand the concept of PVE very well. He thought it was too boring. I've tried playing on servers where people are PvPing and bases are getting raided and stuff, and I just don't enjoy having my hard work stolen. Even though the resources do kind of become trivial, it's still a matter of hours to gather stuff. Oh, there's apparently a cave here. I passed right by it. Now, if I send Grayson a friend invite, an ally invite, and he accepts it, I'll be able to see him on the map and I'll be able to see where his sleeping bag is. Get zoomed out. He's probably in the north, I'm guessing. Yeah, he's in the north. And he's pretty close to where the server owner is based. So, like, if you find a building that's locked up and defended, I wouldn't mess with it. I would not mess with it. But I know there's some shelters that are like, I can send you a I can send you a waypoint. Now, once you get a shared waypoint on your map, you have to mark it with your own waypoint because a shared waypoint will disappear either when I log out or when you log out. I'm not sure. It won't remain in the list. It's only a temporary thing. And you're like really close to a small village of some kind. If you go if you go to the west a little bit from where you are, there is something there. I think it's a gas station, but I'm not sure. There's a couple of buildings there. Let's see what I got it. I got it marked as a small village, so I didn't actually mark what it was. So I guess Ty left some supplies at his safe houses. I didn't know the one that I went to didn't have any supplies, but it had been hoarded. One of the other players spent the night in there during Horde Night, and it was totally wrecked. It was really wrecked. And I spent the night there after Horde Night, and kind of rebuilt it. But I didn't have enough materials with me. It is so far, I couldn't drive up there on the mini bike and drive back. That is a cave. That is a random map cave. Source of mushrooms. And these stalactites, or stalagmites, give you nitrate when you break them. Pretty good source of nitrate. Let's see how big this place is. That there is ore. And that's an ore seam right there. It looks like this may go pretty far down. But it ain't a level ramp. There's a nice big drop off down here. Pretty big cave, really. I'm not going to jump in there. I am just going to get some of this nitrate. have to be careful when mining above your head because you can be injured by falling debris. That is a that is a lot of ore seam right there. That looks like iron. Yep, that's iron. Iron and lead come together. And I can actually walk out without building a wood frame. What did I get? Almost 1.5 stacks of nitrate and 14 mushrooms. Pretty good, pretty good. One lone zombie sneaking up on me. Oh, there's a bear. Let's see, can I carry it? Yes, I can. Three headshots for the kill. Seven meat and 13 hides. Might as well get the animal fat and bone from that zombie. There's a chicken. Kinda hard to spot those chickens in the tall grass. Wow, it's totally disappeared on me. I don't see it now. There it is. It's moving pretty fast. Oh well, I'm not gonna bother with it. You get a pretty good amount of feathers from a chicken if you kill them. But like I said, they're like mostly found in tall grass areas, and they're really hard. They're really hard to hit. They're really hard to target. Aluminum camera base. Huh, I wonder what that is involved in doing. Sounds like pretty good handiwork. Making sure my guns are loaded. One thing you have to remember about guns is if you change a part out, you have to remember to reload them. So I got nitrate, I need coal, coal. I need coal. Now I can make that much gunpowder would take me a few minutes to make. I can stick it in the workbench. And it won't take up my bag crafting queue. So now the workbench will craft it and I don't have to think about it. Now, one thing is crafting gunpowder will get you gunsmithing skill ups. So if I needed that skill, you can like open the workbench while it's cooking the gunpowder, and you would get the skill ups from it. And the same is true for the forge. If you open the forge while it's cooking something, you will get the skill ups from whatever the forge is making. So like if you happen to be making iron arrowheads, you can get weaponsmithing XP, but you have to have the forge open to get the XP. And there is an airdrop. The best way to level up armor smithing. The best way to level up armor smithing is to read the darn books. To be honest, get a whole lot of iron, get a whole lot of leather. You need the leather. You need the leather making perk. You need a whole lot of iron, a whole lot of leather, and you probably want to just make like iron gloves or iron boots. If you want to level it up by actually crafting stuff. Otherwise, the best way to do it is to get the skill books. Now, the first time you read a skill book, it's going to give you the recipe. But every time that you read a skill book after that, it's going to give you one skill point in the related skill. So I got like 30 books for iron armor. I got everything except for the chest armor. I don't have the chest armor recipe. So I could like give you all the recipes for iron armor. Almost. Almost all of them. And give you one of each. And you would have the recipes. But you still need to have the leather making perk. And you need to get the hides and you need to make the leather. And you have to have the iron, forged iron. You have to have forged iron from the forge. So I don't really know what the best way to level it is, but I'm thinking gloves or boots are gonna be the best thing to make. Just make a lot of gloves and boots. Oh, I see, Kyle. 199, almost to 200. I have never reached 200 level vitals in a game before, so that will be a first for me. I gotta run AFK for a couple of minutes. Okay, I'm back and I need a smoke. Well, that airdrop is pretty close, it looks like. And of course, there's a small chance it will have something that I need. Nope. Find the farm challenge. I don't know what that is. Mostly it's just got meds. Now, I located a treasure map. So far I found one treasure map. And since the loot abundance is set to 250%, you get three. You get three maps when you get one. So I actually was able to find three treasures. And apparently the treasure maps lead to a chest that will always contain the recipe for herbal antibiotics. And herbal antibiotics can be cooked with just a cooking pot. You need mushrooms and blueberries to make it. So, like, if you don't have any antibiotics, it would seem like you can make the herbal antibiotics and do the same job, maybe. But the amount of time you have to invest in tracking down a treasure chest is pretty big, because it'll give you a general area where the chest will be buried, and you have to dig it up. And one of the treasure chests I found was in the lake, and I swam into the lake, and I could actually spot the chest in the sand. I could actually see the chest in the top. I didn't have to do any actual digging to get that chest, but the other two chests that I got, I had to dig for them. And the first one that I did, I found right away, and the second one, I had to do quite a bit of digging before I found it. But it seems that the treasure chest will always have the recipe for herbal antibiotics, which is something that, you need a beaker. You need to find the beaker in order to make antibiotics. And you need to have moldy bread and nitrate in order to cook antibiotics. So if you don't have those requirements, it would seem like the herbal antibiotics would be an easier alternative, only you would have to track down the treasure chest to get the recipe. Let's see, this book is armor smithing. This book teaches you how to make scrap armor, scrap metal armor. McDivers, an obvious reference to MacGyver. That was a popular TV show for a while. So I guess I'll store these beakers up here and see what I can take out of this darn chest. Iron shovel. Scrap. There's a whole sniper rifle, but it was only 76 quality. So it's pretty low quality parts. Might as well take that out and scrap it. So when you scrap gun parts, you get iron. You get iron back. Yeah, the loot respawns every 2 days. The loot respawns every 2 days. So it's like pretty easy settings, really. 250% loot abundance and 2-day respawn. And if you were looking at a fully loaded server, you kinda needed that on the Navigaine map, but you don't need it so much on a random map because the map is much bigger and there's many more POIs. But if you're on the Navigaine map, there's like 2 working stiffs, and everybody is trying to get calipers, and it takes a really long time to find calipers in a working stiff chest. And the calipers only spawn in a working stiff chest. So it's like the one thing that everybody ends up needing and nobody gets very quickly. And if you have somebody that's constantly looting the working stiff, then nobody else gets a chance to loot. And there's a few random working stiff chests in gas stations on the Navigaine map. There is actually a good number of working stiff POIs scattered around the map. I've seen a few of them. I know some of these challenges are timed, and you get some kind of bonus if you get it within the time limit. This one is probably bears, and I've killed a few bears. So I'm alright killing bears if I spot them. Let's see what it is. Unless you got shit for brains, you probably know we've been following you. Now that we've got the pleasantries out of the way, let me get right to the point. We want you to join the Willies, but first you have to pass this initiation for us to consider it. Slicker than a minnow's dick, Willie. Challenge: kill some bears. 3 bears. And there's no time limit. Oh, and the reward is 2 skill points. Nice. Well, that is a little bit simpler than killing stags. The stags are more common than bears. I have seen that one before. Kill kill a zombie with with your fists while drunk. So you need a bunch of beer. Well, it's pretty rich to get the treasure tracking skill for 10 points at 3 different levels. So you need to spend 30 points to max the treasure tracking skill, which is supposed to narrow down your dig area. Uh, and I haven't wasted any points on that skill. I mean, it's possible to find the treasure without that skill. And let's see, is that the only thing it does? Treasure Hunter, treasure radius. Yeah, it reduces the treasure radius, supposedly. So, someone was suggesting that it helps you get more treasure maps, but I don't think it does that. Yeah, that might work, Kyle. I don't know. I haven't tried it. I don't have any treasure maps to test your theory. I don't have any at the moment. Now, if you're allied with another player, your land claim blocks will provide no hardness bonus at all. And so, if somebody that you're allied with wants to raid your base, it would be really easy. However, my doors are locked. My base door is locked, and you would need to enter the code to bypass the lock and open the door. Otherwise, you would be forced to break in through concrete blocks that I have stacked up down there. And reinforced concrete is still pretty hard, even when it's not being increased in hardness. If you place a land claim block on this server and you're offline, the hardness will be infinite. So it's like if your land claim block is protecting your base, it will be impossible for anyone to break into your base unless they're an ally while you're offline. So I guess I'm looking for a bear now. Well, I haven't found any munitions crates. I haven't found any munition crates in the whole map anywhere. I have seen military bases and other maps, other random maps that I played, but I just haven't found one on this map. Well, I'll have to give it a try, Kyle, but at the moment I don't have a treasure map. Well, you need a wrench to disassemble cars, basically. So you need a wrench of some quality. And you need to find cars on the road that are in decent condition. You need to get an engine and a battery. And you need to get a headlamp from a car. And then you need some scrap cable, which you would get by salvaging a refrigerator or oven with a wrench. Okay, not much of anything of value there. Holy cow, a whole shotgun. A purple shotgun. Now, your character level and your scavenging skill and your quality Joe perk all go together to govern the quality of loot that you find. But even with my high level of skill at the moment, I'm still getting stuff that is below 300 quality. Well, there's a stag, but I'm looking for bears. The space bar uh, is the brakes for the mini bike. So I'm thinking I'm gonna stay up here and face the horde. And maybe Grayson will log out before the horde spawns. Unless he's underground, he has a chance of only one player on the server will end up getting the horde spawn for some reason. It doesn't hit everyone. So like one player will get the horde and everybody else will be free and clear for the rest of the night. Cat food. Don't really care about it. Oh, I got a whole stack of antibiotics. Don't need that. Got so much medicine stuff. So get loaded down with ammo. Get ready to fight the horde. Yeah, there's a chance the horde will spawn near you, Grayson. If you're not in a safe place. Let's see, I really don't think the horde is going to be able to get through my walls tonight. But they may deal a lot of damage. They may actually break some of the blocks. Oh, today is not the day, it's tomorrow. Today is not horde night. So dig in, mate, because you got basically one game day to get yourself into a safe situation. You're pretty close to another guy's base at the moment, where you are. I don't know why it keeps spawning new players in that area. Hello, welcome to people that have just joined my stream. I'm playing 7 Days to Die on a dedicated server called Tarsona. This is version Alpha 14.7, which is the latest stable version of the game. Well, the wall is fully repaired at the moment. Yeah, it does, but I don't know. I guess it's the limitations of the server. Only like one player will get the horde. If there's 10 players online, I mean, you could have everybody in one place in the same location, and everybody would get the horde. Like Pose was on the last horde that spawned. We were both on. We were the only ones online. The horde spawned here. The horde spawned here, and there were well over 50 zombies spawning and attacking the base. And we fought them until like noon the next day. It took us well into the daylight hours to kill them all off. And they kept coming. They kept coming for a while. And you're thinking, when daylight hits, it might be safe to run out, pull the horde away from the base so they stop damaging the walls, and kind of lead them away. And then you end up getting killed that way. I have actually used that strategy myself in a single player game. If they're walking, now when I do single player, I have them walk at night. I have them walk all the time. So I place the log spikes around my base, and that takes their legs off, and I get down to the last few ferals, and they're crawling. They've lost their legs and they're crawling. I go out and headshot them so I can loot them. And it's kind of surprising how many headshots it takes to take down one of those feral walkers on Horde Night. Yep, server limitations. They can only spawn. His server is set up so that it will only spawn a maximum of 50 zombies simultaneously. So if a 50 zombie horde goes to attack one player, that means no zombies will spawn anywhere else on the entire server. kind of a bad limitation, but I guess that's what they have to do to keep the performance up. Otherwise, you end up overheating CPUs and crashing servers and damaging systems. I mean, yeah, there's some major differences between single player and multiplayer. So if you're like really keen on fighting the horde every horde night, go for single player. You will always get the horde. But even then, if the horde becomes like way too overwhelming, I think you can log out and it will despawn. I think. Because there seems to be a glitch in the game that causes an endless horde to spawn. Some people have complained about it. Now, I myself have never really seen it. I every time I fought a horde, they've always slowed down at some point. It just takes you just have to kill a lot, and it takes a good long time to kill them off. I'm using OBS Studio to stream. It's free. It's got like a GNU license or something like that, free to download and use. I don't have any I don't have any kind of video editing tools or anything like that, so I can't I can't do like professional quality video on my system because I just don't have the video card for it. These are the small gray boulders that I was talking about. You can break these with a stone axe, and they give the most amount of iron and stone that you can get from the surface without opening an underground mine. So you see more of these in a forest and a grass biome. They're quite common. You should get like 45 iron from one of these. You can break it 3 times, and when the stone breaks, you get like a bonus. You get like a bonus of materials. I am not exactly sure how much stone you get from breaking them down, but I know it's 45 iron. Nope, it does not. The actual quantity that you get, I don't think it matters on tool quality. Tool quality is just going to help you break the stone a little bit faster with fewer hits. Now I think that the mining skill, that's just block damage and stamina degradation. So, the skill and the quality of the tool doesn't actually change the amount of resources you get. Well, a higher quality wrench may give you more materials for disassembling items like cars, refrigerators, ovens, control panels. I'm not really sure about that. It doesn't affect the type of items that you get, but it might affect the quantity. But as far as breaking those stones goes, the amount of material doesn't change.